Today I'm making chocolate chip cookies. The recipe I'm using is from Stella Park's on Serious Eats, so I can link to the recipe. I use it almost exactly as she does. I just make one small tweak. So first things here, I've got a mix of dark and milk chocolate chunks. This is Calbut chocolate, and this is about 250 grams. Stella actually has about 400 grams of chocolate in her recipe. I find it a bit much, the cookies don't really hold together, so I cut it down to about 250. And this needs to be chopped up roughly into pieces. And certainly this recipe does not work as well with chocolate chips or pieces that you would buy. However, it's still going to be delicious, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But if you do have chocolate, that's what I would use. I've also used chocolate bars for this that I've chopped up, so it's pretty flexible. Any type of chocolate that you like to eat is pretty good. Chocolate's chopped. You can see one of the benefits of doing this is you just get all different sizes. You get some splinters, some crumbs that will actually go into the flour and make for a chocolatey base, but then you have the chunks as well, which will have texture. So I'm going to take some of these chunks, put them aside, and these are going to go on the cookies themselves as garnish. So I'm just going to put that aside. Then the rest of this here is going to go into a bowl. So you can see we've got the chocolate in the bowl. Got a little chocolate mess here. Let's clean that up. So what we're going to do is I've got a sieve in there, and here we've got about 2 3/4 cups of flour. So that's 12.5 ounces. Just going to throw that in here. And then we just want to sift the flour into the chocolate, and we will mix chocolate and flour. So chocolate and flour is mixed. So we can now start with the mixing here. So first step is combining butter and sugar. So here we've got a cup of brown sugar and a cup of white sugar. So those go in there with 2 sticks of butter. So we're going to add the sugar, sticks of unsalted butter here. We're going to add 1 tablespoon. I'm going to get this rolling. And I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Here we've got 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Fresh ground would be best, but I've actually just got the not fresh ground stuff, so we'll sprinkle that in there too. Now we want to add some salt. So the recipe calls for diamond kosher salt, which is what this is. So that is basically 2 teaspoons. And the last thing is 1 egg. Now we're going to get this going faster. Just going to scrape the sides once. So that looks nice and creamy. So now what we're going to do is put in the flour and chocolate mixture. So we're just going to put this on low and start spooning this in. We'll just turn this up a little bit. You can see here we've got nice stiff. We're ready to start making our cookies. We've got 2 cookie sheets here lined with parchment paper and a cookie portioning tool, but you can use a tablespoon if you like. And this helps sort of get the sizes to be roughly equal. I am just going to go and scoop out all this dough. These will spread, so I'm going to do 3 across. These are portioned. I have just a little bit left over that I'll do in a separate pan. Now I am going to garnish these some of this chocolate. I'm just going to put a piece on top, a piece or 2. Final step is just to sprinkle a little bit of salt on top. Now these are going to go into a 350-degree oven. So these have been out of the oven for about 10 minutes. And you can see it's interesting. These ones are a little bigger than these. We're started on the bottom rack, which is a little hotter. I did switch them halfway, but it appears that just having that increased temperature for the first 10 minutes or so really does allow it to spread a bit more, whereas these ones are a little smaller and thicker. Other than that, they all look great. And once they've been cooling for about 10 minutes, you can actually pick them up. And these baked for about 18 minutes or so. So you can see what it looks like there. So these are delicious. I will link the recipe down below, and certainly encourage you to give them a try. Thank you very much.